You know
I
what
know
I'm
you've
saying?
been talking about it, and I want to hear more like
Yeah.
your vision for that.
Now, so basically, yo, it's based on the book I wrote, Twice
Right.
Upon a Time, and we're trying to adapt one of the chapters into a short film, right? Like I'm gonna finish the script, like the final script this weekend. And so the story we're adapting is called Endless Finality, and it's the barbershop story. That's the nickname for it. It's
Okay.
basically a group of men cutting hair. A rookie comes in, like young dude. He got a kid on the way. His best friend had just passed away, so he's dealing with this balance of literally like life and death, like a newborn and a recently passed, right? And it just is this toxic masculine environment. And although it's filled with like these layers of toxicity, the layers of toxicity are like overlaying a lot of anxieties, insecurities, traumas. And like the point is to present really like the roughness of man is also man's protection in a certain way, and trying to create a better understanding of like why certain individuals are the way they are. Like one of the most prominent characters to me is Jesus. He's extremely homophobic, but there's an intimation there that he himself has his own problems with his sexuality. You know what I'm saying? But he covers it up by being the most boisterous, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest jokester. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's somewhat of an exaggeration of what people are like, but like, you know what I mean? And at the core of it though, you got this young guy named Pablo who's 21 and he's still trying to figure out how to be a man. And then there's these two different voices in the barbershop. There's the men that tell him like, yo, don't be an asshole to women, raise your kids. Then there's people like Jesus, and he's like, be an asshole to women, fuck your kids. Like, who cares? You can have more. You know what I mean? But like, in between both of those voices, there's also this shared shame because like culturally, they feel like collectively they feel cursed. And like that's the vibe of the barbershop. They're in purgatory in a certain sense. I feel like I'm kind of over explaining. I should have gave you the elevator first.
No,
But
this is.
you know what I'm saying? That's
I'm
that's
with you. I'm as you saying all that. I'm thinking about like. Go ahead. Go ahead.
nah.
We can talk about what I'm thinking about
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're done with your thought.
But like, yeah, yo, so it's like it's that conflict between the positive masculinity and the toxic masculinity for the youth. And how we kind of have to confront that as well as confront, you know, a lot of anxiety and trauma and trying to navigate and adapt as best as possible. Um, damn, I had another thing, yo. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, just like the book's about mental health, masculinity, and community. Like it's the same thing with the short film. It's almost just like that was the story that I thought best encapsulated everything. You know what I'm saying? The whole book has to offer. Um,
Yeah, I think that's important, man, to be able to like show. All right, so like culture, it's a set of norms, right? It's like a way of life that's passed down, and when you think about like even like for example, you talking about like the homophobia and the
yeah,
like. I come from a West Indian Jamaican culture that's like very homophobic, right?
yeah,
So there was a gay gentleman on one of the units I was on when I was in the Max. And at that point, like I'm reading everything, bro. So there was this psychology book I was reading, and it was talking about like people in the LGBT community who identify like, yo, this has been me since birth, right? Now I've never had any interactions with anybody from that community, right? At that point. So now there's a brother on the unit, like I said, he identifies as such. So like I said, now I'm questioning everything. So I take one of the brethren with me. I'm like, yo, go me, I'm gonna holler at this dude. So I'm like, yo, were you born like that? So he's like, he was cool. He's like, nah. So I'm like, he's like, I got friends who were, but he was like, yo, like I had scenario, and when I was younger, my cousin had basically molested me, and he's like, that changed everything for me.
yeah,
So I'm like, appreciate the information. I kept it moving. But later, on in my bid, I'm learning way more about like Black history, and I'm learning about like the plantations in Jamaica and the ways in which like the individuals who ran those plantations, like the ways in which some of the measures they would go to break
I get it.
these individuals, right? And we always hear about like the raping of women on these plantations, but it was like a real, this is a crazy practice specifically in them Jamaican spaces, like the castration of men in those spaces, right? And now I see like you said, the culture of shame
Yeah.
that comes along with that, which will manifest in like hate and violence and right? Especially when healing is not the order of the day. Right? When vulnerability is not the order of the day.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I'm like, damn, like it makes sense why individuals it's not just justifiable, but it's like when we understand the context.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes sense why like an entire country would feel that way towards.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We don't really flex.
Okay.
But
My bad. I was just when you said that, I thought about something my dad said. That I was like, yo, you crazy, dude.
what was it?
Bro, nah, because this is I'm talking about a little bit. But when I was a child, I was homophobic. I'm talking about a gay person was standing next to me. I was 5, 6 years old. I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Get heated on the subway in New York, bro. Like it's New York. Like you know what I mean? As I got older, like you know, my mind opened up. I met new people, and it's just funny. My dad's old, man. He's 61, 62, something like that. He used to be a pastor, bro. Super anti-gay, like just period. And I remember a couple years ago, randomly he calls me. He's like, Nani, mira, I got something to tell you. Gay people, they can get married now. I'm okay with it. And I'm like, all right, good for you,
Your
dude.
approval. Thank you.
Yeah, like, they needed it, right?
They needed that.
But then he followed up, and I'm like, yo, this is your shit. He said, but kids, I don't want to having kids. I was like, yo. He's like, they're gonna fuck him up. And I'm like, y'all, you and mom were straight, and look what you did. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Fair enough.
that was my response, but I was like, yo, you know, he's older, and he's at that point where I'm like, I'm not gonna even try. Like, trying to change your mind, I'm not gonna try to change nobody's mind, but especially like, you are who you are. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So nah, yeah.
Understanding hopefully, understanding comes in time. It doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah.
Right? So like with my father, like it's a very complicated relationship there. But I've come to like you said, like I understand like who he is, and then I understand like what I'm just not gonna get from this dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't deal with silent treatments and all like the weird shit, but like I also know like
I was saying games though, like silent treatment shit is games.
Yeah, it's weird. So
I can heal myself. Now over time I just hurt myself, so I just oh my Lord, can you help me find